From bands to solo performers, we cover the whole ground of local music, and we do it with rock, country, folk, blues. Over the next 2 hours, we're going to give you a wide variety of music that comes not just from the Upper Cumberland, but from most of the parts of Tennessee and even up into parts of Kentucky as well. Rock acts, blues acts, we have all of it for you tonight. And tonight, a conversation with the Rusty Rooster. They hail from over around Jamestown, a little bit of Southern rock. We'll have a discussion with them and an in-studio performance, too. We'll also work in some tracks from Cryptic Calling. We'll do some Brian Emerson for you and a little T-Bone Nash, too. As we start off with some country tonight from over... Tonight, we go with a little bit of a classic rock-type sound. We bring in the Rusty Rooster. Introduce yourself. Say what you do in the band.
My name is Billy Scott. I play guitar and I sing.
My name is Patty Baines. I play the bass.
And I'm Lindy Baines, and I'm the drummer.
How long have you guys been a band?
Probably me and Billy's played together for over about 4 years, I guess, getting close to 4 years. And Patty's been with us for a year and a half, almost 2 now.
And so that's where the Rusty part comes in, right? No, that's not how that comes in.
It started out as a joke. The name, it started out as a joke. Then people started associating us with the name, so we decided to hang with it. It was just somebody said, hey, it's a Rusty Rooster.
What style of music? I said classic rock, but would you really put yourself there in that kind of frame?
Here's another band saying, I don't know. I don't know what our genre is.
A little rock, a little blues.
Some people say, country. Some people say rock, but it's
Southern rock.
It's more rock.
Well, it's definitely got that rockin' flavor to it, and we're going to get a chance to find out just exactly how it sounds. We're going to play a few of your songs a little bit later. In fact, you guys have brought some instruments, so guy and gal, not going to leave you out there. Yes, there you go. On the Jamestown way tonight, we have the Rusty Rooster. The 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. That's, you said you've got music that you're doing over around that way. Are you all from there?
I'm from Putnam County. I live in Monterey.
And we both live in Jamestown.
Yes.
So.
How did we make the connection, Monterey to Jamestown?
Well,
other than the highway?
Yeah. I go to church in Jamestown, and there was a fellow that was playing drums there who was an Elvis impersonator, and he happened to be doing a little local thing, like a dance night or something, and Lynn was there playing, and he asked if I would play guitar so he could do his Elvis act, and I said sure, and I went and checked him out, and that's how we started.
So you were drumming for Elvis?
Yes, he's still alive, living in Jamestown.
when he's not hanging out at swap meets, right?
Right.
You know where he used to be spotted mostly?
Yeah, and eating peanut butter banana sandwiches. But yeah, that's how we met. He came up and played, and it was on my birthday, exactly.
That's
on
right.
my birthday. We started jamming, then we started playing cover music before Elvis came on. We was like his opening band, then finally we just started doing our own stuff.
Yeah, it was about, almost a year ago is when we started doing original music.
Yeah, we doing original music.
Well, Elvis is pretty common ground. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to work with there, a lot of influences into his music. What are your influences?
Well, mine is classic rock, like Zeppelin and Stones and The Who, and Bonham is my big hero. I grew up listening to everything, gospel, bluegrass, country, whatever. And so I got it all mixed up, in my music anyway.
Billy, what about you?
With me, it's pretty much everything I hear. I can't really narrow down influences from, jazz to rock to the 90s music. I mean,
Sponge. You're a sponge. You just soak up whatever you happen.
Sponge.
Plowed under for that one, didn't I? What about you?
Influences, I'm a Beatle head, so Paul McCartney is one of my favorites, and Pat Benatar since I've been a young girl.
Did you pattern your singing after her?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, and you play the bass?
I do play the bass. There were a few other members in this band when I used to come and see Lynn and Billy, and then they left. So I married Lynn, and Lynn started to teach me the bass.
Well, she didn't marry him because they left.
That's not really how that ties in. I believe that's another show. I think that's on daytime television.
It was kind of funny because I was like, well, Patty plays acoustic guitar or something, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, she's playing bass now. I think we had
and now they can't get rid of it.
One rehearsal, and we had to play on the square up there.
Yeah, we had to play at the courthouse in Jamestown. The first show, we just threw her into it.
Well, you have worked up some original music. I think you said you started out playing a few cover things, and you've gotten to writing your own material. Well, let's talk about one of your songs. Let's do Fool for You. This is actually what you've got an EP, and this is the title track that you've gone with. Tell me where this one comes from.
It just comes out. I can't explain where it comes from. I start with a riff or something, and I'm driving. It just comes out.
So you build the melody. Where the lyrics come from?
I don't know. If I knew that, then
the voice is in my head. Tell me what to write.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So you put that together. You bring it to him, and he goes.
Well, with that one there, I literally wrote that in the van, the lyrics and everything, and I had a guitar riff and pretty much down, and we had rehearsal, and it just kind of fell together. Right
it really did.
Well, here's the song that fell together. It's the Rusty Rooster on the 9 o'clock news, local edition on Rock 93.7.
Volunteers.
Their music on the 9 o'clock news, local edition on Rock 93.7. Introduce yourselves and say what you do in the band.
I'm Billy Scott. I play guitar and I sing.
I'm Patty Baines. I play bass.
And I'm Lenny Baines, and I play the drum.
Together, they comprise the Rusty Rooster. Now, you seem to have rather a good background as far as the classic rock influences. I think we touched on what those were a little bit earlier. Playing style, how long have you been actually playing?
30 years. I actually started with original music, and I didn't learn any cover songs. And then someone asked me to join a cover band, and I said, well, if we can play some original stuff, I will. And that's how I got into covers. And
did you learn to play the notes, or did you play it by ear, or how do you play?
Just playing it by ear.
Just what sounds great?
Yeah.
What about you?
Much.
Same?
I've been playing for 39 years. And this month, October made 39 years for me. And I just play by ear. I've taught myself. I don't have never had a lesson in my life.
Not so much the technical side then.
No, I'm not technical at all.
And then you've learned the bass, so have you been learning it from that aspect as well?
I've been playing music, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, piano, singing, writing, background vocals for probably about 25 years.
So good amount of experience among the three of you as far as sitting and crafting and writing songs and coming up with, and the direction sounds like it was easy enough to figure out what direction you were going to go in as a band. How many songs have you written?
I'd have to go back and look at it, actually. And
well, you had enough to put on the EP to start with. You did 5 on that.
Well,
and then you're also planning to do another EP. Are you guys just going to stick with the EP route, doing that every so often?
Yeah,
or?
probably. I mean, it's a little less expensive for people to purchase a CD, and just a few songs at a time. And another thing is, it gets us to put our material out a little bit at a time, as opposed to putting 15 songs on a CD. We're able to give them a little bit more product as we go.
Some bands feel that they need to just kind of hold on to stuff till they have what they consider a full album, and then polish it, and then put it together, and then maybe after a couple of years they put it out. You feel more comfortable doing the every so often?
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
Well, every out of the 5 songs that are on that EP, only one of them was written before. This is all new material. Started in I think January.
Yeah, this year he wrote them all. We go to his place and sit down and figure them out, work them out. We went to the studio, in August?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was August. We went to the studio, and we just went in and laid them down just like that. It was we was prepared when we went in there. We knew what we were doing.
So you have pretty much a collection, but you're wanting to do newer material.
Well,
so
it's what fits this situation. I like I was saying before, I can't really help what comes out, but the situation kind of.
So you're writing for the band pretty much then.
It's like this recipe, us 3 people together, and what we've been doing. It's kind of going from there.
I heard you mention some other instruments earlier. I think I heard piano and a couple of others. So are you working on adding more instruments into the writing, or
no?
Keeping it simple?
Not at this point, no.
One of the things that I liked about this situation is it was kind of stripped down. What you hear on there is on a CD is pretty much what you're going to hear live.
One thing I don't like to do, if you get a CD from somebody and you hear this great song, and then you go see them live, and it's nothing like it, because they cannot duplicate what they did in the studio, because they don't have the people, or they don't have the instruments to do it.
Or they didn't turn on the auto-tune. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
there's some things that come into play with that. Let's talk about some of your live performances, and let's get one of those live performances from you, actually. You've brought some instruments, so we're going to get one of your songs in. We will do that as we continue on the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. Speaking tonight with the Rusty Rooster, getting to know a little bit about the band and their music, and finding out pretty fun coming together and doing what you do. Seems like you guys enjoy your music, and I think that's the root of it. I think we said earlier that you've had maybe a couple of members that didn't quite want to go along with what you were doing. It just wasn't for them. Most bands have that.
Oh, yeah.
I think you have that time of trying to find what fits and what works. So down to the 3 of you, and it works. You guys have actually started recording music. We were talking about your first experience going and doing that.
Yeah.
Was quite the interesting thing, because music has come a long way as far as getting it recorded.
Yeah, used to, back when I was younger, starting out, you had to go to this big, humongous studio, and it was all fancy and everything. But these guys, in Brimstone Recording, where we recorded our CD, I've known Odell Brummett over for years. I played music with him a little bit, and his studio is in the middle of nowhere, and it looks like a shack over in the middle of the woods. And these two, they pull up, and they're like, "Where's it at?" "Right here." "Oh my God, is there an outhouse here?" Yeah, there is. But it was great. I mean, we recorded it all. It'd take us maybe 2 trips to record the whole album, and it was great. I mean, we had a great experience recording, which we're planning to go back there again and record our next CD. We're going back to the same place.
Yeah, we've got another EP coming up.
Well, in this situation, you have written a few songs, and we're actually going to get to one of those now. You've worked up one. We're going to do a little in-studio performance here. Tell me about this one. I Should Have Known.
That song is funny. We did a show at a horse campground, and I was explaining how you could just use one chord and write a song. Now, the song ended up being more than one chord, but that particular chord that I picked, which was B, that grew this song. And I don't know how that happened, but by the time we had the next rehearsal, I had the whole thing. And
another thing interesting about this song, it's got the cowbell in it. And I was trying. Well, I had the fever. I had to have more cowbell. But anyway,
did you bring your cowbell?
No, but no, I did not bring my cowbell. Whatever the cow down the road, I could probably borrow one. But anyway, we was playing. I was trying to figure out something to do in that song, and I kept going, "What am I going to do? What am I going to do?" And we were playing the Relay for Life in Clark Range last summer, and I had my cowbell over, and I thought, man. So I hit that during the parts of the song just like it is on the CD, and nobody said a word. And I'm like, well, they must not have liked it. So the next time we met, I said, hey, did you hear that cowbell? Oh, yeah, we love it. Keep it in there. I'm like, okay, finally, somebody said something, I thought I messed up or something.
I'm working hard over here.
Yeah.
It's when you make the mistake that you hear something. That's usually where that's at.
That's it.
Well, we're going to do that. I'm going to let you get your instruments here, and we'll go ahead and listen to that as we continue with the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. Jam session in the studio, and we've had a lot of fun talking tonight with the Rusty Rooster on the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. Go ahead and say who you are again, what you do in the band.
I'm Billy Scott, and I play guitar and sing.
I'm Patty Baines. I play bass.
I'm Lyndon Baines, and I play drums.
And the three of them comprise the Rusty Rooster. Now, you're over around the Jamestown area, but they can find you online. You guys have got a Reverb Nation page, I believe, yes?
Yes, we do. We also have a Facebook page. So.
You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Bandcamp. Do you have any of your songs up online?
We do on Reverb Nation. We've got Fool for You and Shotgun. And then on Facebook, we've got Fool for You. That's actually the one on Fool for You on Facebook is actually one of the first times we actually recorded it. Just in Billy's building.
Oh, there's a video there, right?
Yeah, there's a video.
And we just came out with Fool for You.
So you can crank that up and listen on your phone anytime you want.
That's
Just
right,
go find their Facebook page, like them there, and follow them. And you guys' performances go on there, too. In fact, you've got one coming up December 5th, I believe.
Yes, we're going to Possum Trot.
I'm sorry, you're going to trot out possums.
Yeah. Well, we figured we've not made the big time until you play possum trot. So we're playing possum trot auction. We do it. This makes our third?
Yeah,
third year. I think we played their Christmas thing. It's a great place to play. I mean, they have an auction after we get done, a Christmas auction, but it's a great place to play. The best people. The best.
Are there actual possums involved?
No, but you would.
I wouldn't be too
be
surprised because I've seen caterpillar races.
Yeah.
You know, little fuzzy worms.
Yeah.
I've seen those raced in Kentucky, so I don't rule anything out.
Well, we're not far from Kentucky.
You can find that on their Facebook page about where they're going to be at. You can go be a part of that. No, you don't have to bring a possum.
No possums allowed.
Want to thank the Rusty Rooster for coming in and talking with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
That's the Rusty Rooster on the 9 o'clock news, local edition on Rock.